Let's get back to that breaking news this morning. Amazon is laying off 14,000 employees. The retail giant confirming this move in the last 2.5 hours.
Now, according to Reuters, the company could lay off even more people, as many as 30,000, making it the largest round of layoffs since 2022. KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin is live at their Bellevue headquarters. And Brooke, experts say this could impact Seattle's economy and the area's.
Yeah, those marketing experts from the University of Washington say if those 14,000 layoffs are from here at the Bellevue headquarters, these corporate positions, then those people will stop spending money here while they're on the job hunt. That means less tax revenue and even a budget shortfall potential in the future. Amazon released a quote statement just this morning saying that we're working hard to support everyone whose role is impacted, including offering most employees 90 days to look for a new role internally. The timing will vary based on local laws, and our recruiting teams will prioritize internal candidates to help as many people as possible. This comes after another Amazon layoff announcement earlier this month. They tell us they planned on laying off around 15% of its HR department, which is about 1,500 employees. In June, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy said the use of AI could lead to more job cuts in the future. According to Reuters, these layoffs would reduce expenses and compensate for overhiring during the pandemic. University of Washington professor Jeff Shulman says this will make it even harder for people to find a tech job.
These last 2 years have been very difficult for people in the tech industry as we see more and more companies engaging in larger and larger cuts, and the search for another job after those cuts is taking longer and longer.
Call halal la Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Waha, Ruha, Kwatash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles, bishops, elders, and teachers, the men of great millstone. To you I say shalom. Salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Amraya. And as you can see from the report, the layoffs continue, all right? And this has been a very tumultuous year for unemployment, dealing with those of the educated variety, all right? And others as well. The economy is crashing. We're going through a recession, all right? Along with the fact that you have a president that has decided to cut the federal workforce substantially. And that entailed a lot of so-called black women, so-called white women, a lot of DEI hires, as they called them, all right? But they were cutting in every branch around, including the military. So the unemployment rate is shooting through the roof. And they got fired, but they have not been selected to be rehired because AI is taking over a lot of these positions. To keep from losing money, these corporations have decided to cut you off, all right? But this is the will of the Lord. And how do I know this? It is throughout all the scriptures, all right? It's throughout the scriptures that there shall be no work, that the economy will crash, and that people will have no hope in the future, all right? Because this is the time of great judgment from the one whom you ignorantly call God and his son, whom you ignorantly call Jesus. Their names in the Paleo-Hebrew for God is Yahweh, and for so-called Jesus, right, is Yahweh Shai. This is Isaiah chapter 19. And where do I begin? I'll begin at verse 14. It says, Yahweh have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And the Lord has mingled a perverse spirit, not just sexually perverse. We can identify that as well, because you have a lot of predatory child sex trafficking cases coming out. Hell, the spiritual advisor of Donald Trump, that guy that ran the mega church, just got sentenced for child sex crimes, all right? It's all throughout your government. It's all throughout the mindset of the people, but you're talking about as well as a incompetent spirit that has taken over spiritual Egypt, which is aka America, Babylon the Great. All right. And it has caused those that are in management to err in every work thereof. All right. Like a drunken man staggering in his vomit who has no control over his motor functions. All right. So America its leadership is incompetent. And as it is at the top, so at the bottom. All right. So this whole thing is crashing as we speak. Verse 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right. This is going to affect every level of society, all classes. All right. There will be no work sooner or later. And this is all done by design. Again, the Lord intends on crashing the economy so they can roll out the prophecy of the MOT to the B, which is a microchip. All right. Your finances, your identity, your criminal history, your medical history, all will be tied to biometrics in the form of a chip that will be inserted in you, in your hand or in your head. All right. They're crashing this economy on purpose at the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. And this means jobs are not coming back. All right. America will never be great again. These are realities that you must understand if you are to understand the will of the Lord. All right. Verse 15 again. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Okay. And uncertainty and fear is setting in. All right. People have no hope in the future, as I've already stated. Verse 16, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the land of Egypt, the land of Judah. Judah is a people before it is a place. All right. So the people of Judah, shall be a terror unto Egypt. Why? Because they're cutting all of the programs, all right? EBT, SNAP, welfare, housing, all right? Medicaid, all of these programs are getting cut, and it's affecting the poor of the people, which in this case, a lot of them are Judah, all right? Recipients of welfare. But not just Judah, the main recipient of welfare is the so-called Edomite, all right? But they're happy as long as it affects you so-called Negroes, all right, and Latinos, etc. Now, they shall be a terror unto Egypt because once all those programs get cut, they're going to start rioting, protesting, looting, all right, losing their minds. 2/3 of the nation of Israel is very brutish, all right? 2/3 of Judah, the so-called Negroes, are very much brutish, all right? So they're going to be a terror unto America, Babylon the Great, all right? Everyone that make mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he have determined against it, right? All right? See, the eyes of the Lord are upon this sinful kingdom, all right, to wipe it off the face of the earth. We're in Amos chapter 9, and verse 8, it says, behold, the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are upon the sinful kingdom, beholding all of its ways, all right, seeing all of the darkened, cold hearts of the people and their sinful nature, their brutish ways. The eyes of the Lord are beholding this, and now is the time for judgment. All right, verse 8 again, behold, the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. The only ones promised any type of salvation from what is coming is the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. This is a very tumultuous time that we're living in. You're going to be divided between the right and the left of the Lord. All right. And those on the right hand are going to be fewer than those on the left. Many are called, few are chosen. All right. Many are going to perish in the coming judgment. All right. And it's only going to get worse from here. Without jobs, without money in the economy, famines and other things take place, and then all hell breaks loose. So Jacob's trouble is here, man. All right. Famines, pestilences, plagues, judgment, class wars, race wars, civil wars, world war. We're in a very interesting time as far as prophecy goes, but scary time as far as judgment. All right. Now, about the economy, it is crashing. All right. This is Zephaniah chapter 9, Salakia chapter 1. And I was going to begin at verse 9, but let's begin at verse 10. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate." And I've gone through this many times in many different lessons. The fish gate represents your modern day stock markets. The cries are being heard from those over those stock markets. They're telling you something's not right. This economy is faltering. It's going to crash. Okay. They're howling it from the top of their lungs. They're warning you. All right. These bankers, they're telling you. But people are not listening. They don't understand the fact that no one can find work. It's crying. There are all kinds of signs crying from the market, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills, that the stock market is about to crash. Reading it again. Verse 10, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles." Jerusalem is a people before it is a place. Continue reading. "And punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore their goods shall become booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof." See, they're planning to continue on as they always have. These Edomites, 2/3 of Israel, they're complacent. All right. And they're going to be in the midst of their building when the Lord rains down judgment upon them. Okay. Verse 14. "The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly." Right. All right. So as far as all of this is concerned, the economy is crashing. The jobs are done. There will be no work for Egypt. All right. All hell and chaos is going to ensue in the streets. All right. The Lord have determined this. This is his will. It will be done. All right. And there's nothing you can do about it. So at this point, you have a choice. If you're of the house of Israel, the so-called Negro, Latino, and North American Indian, or confusion of face, that are those that look like the other nations, but your forefathers go back to being Israelites. All right. You can repent or die. That's as simple as it gets. We're going to end out here in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, "Remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when you shall say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened." Right. There's no hope in the future. The jobs are fewer and fewer. It's getting harder and harder out here to survive in America, Babylon the Great, and the rest of these economies around the world. All right. They're already rolling out the digital ID over there in the UK and other countries as well. They want to do it here in Utah. All right. And without it, you will not participate in the coming world economy. All right. Finish out verse 4. It says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." And the sound of the grinding is low. There's a cry from the fish gate as we speak. If you don't hear it, if you don't have ears to hear, you're going to get caught up in the coming judgment. If you are an Israelite, it will behoove you to repent or die. Shalom.